What's going on, lads and lasses? Well, this is it for the 23-24 season at home at St James's Park as we take on Brighton tomorrow in a 3 o'clock non-televised game, however. But we take on Brighton in our last home game of the 23-24 season, a season that has had a lot of highs and quite a few lows throughout. It has been probably one of the most Newcastle seasons ever. We've had some massive highs against the likes of PSG in the Champions League, and also going down to Bramall Lane and having a massive win there. But there has been the lows as well, where we've had to endure one of the worst injury crises to ever happen to a Premier League team, in my opinion. At the end of the day, it's been a really bad season for injuries. I am happy to see that we are now edging towards the end of it with only 3 games left. After this game, there'll only be 2 games left. Of course, both of them being away games. One against Manure and one against Brentford down at the G-Tech Community Stadium. But this game we've got to deal with first tomorrow, 3 o'clock kickoff at St James's Park against Brighton. And of course, we're going into this game with a pretty good record. Of course, we are looking to pick up our 13th home win of the season. This, of course, will be our best since the 02-03 campaign, when we picked up, of course, 15 back, of course, then. And having netted in every home game so far this season, we are only 2 goals short of a half century of PL strikes at St James's Park. The total of 48 has previously been exceeded only by the 54 that we got in the 96-97 season and the 51 that we got in the 93-94 season. Of course, and looking at the Brighton news going into this one, of course, Brighton's going to be without quite a few of their first teamers: Evan Ferguson, Sully March, Matoma, Lamptey, Milner, Lallana, Jean-Paul Van Heck as well, are all going to be out injured, not to mention Estupenya and Jack Hinselwood as well, who will not be available for them. But they've only just come off the back of a run of 6 games where they didn't win. A winless run of 6 games, of course. They've just ended that on Sunday gone, of course, when they won 1-0 against Aston Villa. However, on the road this season, they have had a pretty decent run of form. Of course, winning against Wolves down at the Molineux. Of course, winning against Man U at Old Trafford, winning against Forest at the City Ground, and winning against Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. Of course, the Bramall Lane one being the most recent one back in February, of course. But they have struggled recently, losing, of course, 3, drawn 2 in their last 5 away games, only scoring 2 goals. So it doesn't look good for them on the road recently, but they have had a decent run throughout the season on the road with them results that I just mentioned, of course. But this is going to be a tough game, Yes, they might not be having the best of form, but we know what Brighton is capable of. Brighton are a good team, and we will have to be on our game, going into this one. We cannot, go into this one with the mindset that we've already won it, because that is the wrong mindset to go into a game with, even if they are missing quite a few of their first team players. That is the wrong mindset to go into a game with. We need to be focusing on this game 100%. We need to pick up the win because we need to keep picking up the points. If we can keep that points tally going. At the moment, we've got 56 points out of 35 games. We are competing for European places against, of course, Chelsea and Manure, who are both behind us on 54 points. So we do need to concentrate and go out there and do, the job, get the job done. We can't be thinking that we've already got it done and we can, sit back and relax. We need to focus, and I'm sure we will. I'm sure Eddie Howe will put that mindset into the players. The players will already have that mindset to begin with. And there's every chance that if we were to win the last 3 games, that would give us 65 points. If results go in our favour, we could even finish as high as 5th in the league, taking over Tottenham's place. But Tottenham do have a pretty decent run of games left as well. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on that one. Looking at our team news, of course, going into the game, Eddie Howe was speaking in his press conference today, and he confirmed that Trippier has now returned to training and he may be included in the squad to face Brighton tomorrow. He also went on to say that Joe Willock, Lewis Miley, Matt Targett, Sandro Tonali, Sven Botman and Jamal Lascelles won't play again this season. Obviously, Tonali has been out since he picked up that ban for the betting offences, of course. And Fabian Shaw won't feature in this game, but he may feature in the final 2 games, according to what Eddie Howe has said in his press conference today. So there's every chance that we could still get Fabian Shaw back for the last 2 games of the season. And of course, both Anthony Gordon and Isak are 1 game away from reaching 50 Premier League appearances for Newcastle. So, of course, that will be achieved with us having 3 games left. And, of course, they will be playing from the off card. It is Anthony Gordon, is Alexander Isak, who has been absolutely firing on all cylinders. Both of them have this season for in goals and assists. They've been doing fantastic. Both of them have. So, obviously they will get that 50 Premier League appearance for Newcastle. In looking at the referee for the game, of course, the referee for the game will be Darren England. Only the 2nd game this season involving us for the Doncaster Whistler, after, of course, and presiding over our 1-0 defeat against Luton down at theirs, of course. And on VAR is Andy Madley, the brother of course, Bobby Madley. Hopefully he doesn't have to get involved in the game too much. But anyway, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. This is going to be an interesting one. Like I say, we can't go into this game with a mindset that we've already got it won. We've got to go in with the mindset, that we must perform. It's a must-win game. We need to, keep getting the points on the board to cement our place in Europe for next season. Even if it did come down to goal difference, for us against Chelsea and Man U, we'd be ahead of them. We've got 22 goals. Chelsea's on 11 plus. We're on 22 plus, of course, and Meunier's on -3. So we're ahead, but we don't want it to come down to goal difference. We want it to be cemented by the points and confirmed in that way. We don't want to be squeaking through on goal difference. We want to be, of course, getting it by the points because that is the better way to do it. We don't want to be just edging into it. We want to be getting in on the right way. Anyway, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Like I say, this is going to be a tough game, but I do think, we will have enough in the tank to be able to come away with a win. I think, judging on the recent performance of Brighton as well, that they haven't had the best of luck on the road, and they're sitting down in 11th, on 47 points. I think we might have a chance of coming away with a pretty decent win. I would love to see the lads come away with a big-ish win, to see out the home game, the last home game of this season in style. Send our fans home happy. And I'm going to go with the score prediction of Newcastle to come away 4-0 winners against Brighton. But, let's see what happens. Let's see how it goes, because, like I say, Brighton is a tough team and they will be up for it. They will be wanting to see out their season in style, and try and prove that they will be back next season. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Well, the lads.